In today's fast-paced real estate landscape, success demands more than surface-level expertise. It requires insight, adaptability, proven strategies, discipline, and the ability to take risk. The Agent Brew podcast blends candid conversations with wisdom from industry leaders who've walked the path before you. Think of us as your strategic pit stop to fuel your real estate journey. From the crossroads of the world in the heart of Times Square, welcome to the Agent Brew, a podcast that percolates real estate insights. I'm your host, Eric Zollinger. Welcome, viewers and listeners. Thank you for coming today and tuning in for our episode where we explore and navigate our guest's journey through the real estate industry. So we welcome from Miami Beach, Compass, Joe Padula and Alex Miranda. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
So I always like to start with how we know one another. And I can't believe it's 10 years ago next month that we met in South America, Buenos Aires, before the Atlantis cruise from Buenos Aires to Rio.
Yes, sir. That was a super fun, once in a lifetime trip. Yes,
it was my trip for it was my birthday gift to myself for turning 40, and it was being in Rio for Carnival was a bucket list. And I mean, I can't imagine anybody else I'd rather be in the Samba Drum with than you guys.
Yes, we had a blast with you. We had a blast.
It just goes to prove, it's all about relationships, and you can't go anywhere in the world without running into a fellow real estate person.
Yes, sir.
So let's get started on your journey. Can you guys start off with sharing with us your elevator pitch? Who are you guys and your business today?
So we run a luxury real estate team covering from Miami to Fort Lauderdale Beach. We sell mostly high-rise condos in the city of Miami and all along the coastline from South Beach to Fort Lauderdale. And we've done about 1,100 sales so far. We're very close to hitting our billion in sales. So hopefully that happens this year.
Oh, good luck.
Thank you.
So how many years has it been?
2007, really. That's when I started in real estate, and Joe followed me immediately right after. Yes. So it's gonna be 20 years in 2027.
Wow. So the two of you, Alex and Joe, I think it's alexandjoe.com. You're not just business partners, right?
No, we're married.
You're married. I mean, you guys do it all together. It's like, wow.
We travel together. We have fun together. We make deals together. And it is wonderful. It's been a wonderful journey. Yeah, that's right.
That's great. And you're still together after all this time. So obviously you must make it work somehow.
We do. We do.
Is there any little secret sauce or secret formula that you guys have found?
It's funny because most people will have that same reaction. Like, how can you live together and work together? And it's really just what's natural for us. So I don't think there's really any secret sauce. I think it's just our sauce, and it just kind of works. He lets me be, I let him be. Yeah, we have our I have my strengths, and I have lots of weaknesses, and where I'm weak, he excels. So it's just and really a partnership. And with the team, we play good, the mom and dad, good time. But they run to me tonight. They don't like the answer, they go to him.
So Tell us about your team. How many members?
Right now we have 6 agents and 2 admins.
And so do you guys work out of a specific office, or you work from home? What's that dynamic?
Out of Lincoln Road, that's our office is the Compass headquarters in South Beach. But we do a lot of work in Midtown Miami, so we have a home office in our condo that's where we mostly work out of.
Got it. Okay. So let's kind of go back to the beginning. Where are each of you from? And I would say, how has that impacted your work?
I'm from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I grew up in real estate. My stepdad ran the largest cement producer in the Caribbean. So I grew up going to construction job sites, new development. He was on the Puerto Rico Home Builders Association. So it really, I went to school for construction management. So it's really been a natural progression of life for me.
Got it. And Joe, where are you from?
I was born and raised in New Jersey, graduated from Seton Hall University, and I never thought I would be in the real estate business. It was never a part of my world. I was heavily into the fitness world. I started teaching classes in some of the big box gyms during college, and then I went into management, and it was a great career. And then I did get a job as a mortgage. I did get in the mortgage business.
Okay. And did you do that in Miami, or when did the two of you find your way to
Never in
Miami?
Miami. I was in Fort Lauderdale when I did this mortgage business, and that's when we met. But it was also the big financial crisis of 2008. So nobody was doing a mortgage. Nobody
No,
was
nobody
doing
was
it.
buying either. So
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, and I had like when I met Joe, I had gotten a first. I was working for a home builder, in the west coast of Florida, yeah, in Naples, Florida, and when my financial markets collapsed, that stopped the home building industry. So I applied for a job in Midtown Miami. Why? It was my dream to move to Miami. I really hated Naples, Florida. Nothing against West Coast, but it's just not
Yeah.
super fun for a gay man to be in Naples, Florida. And I got the job and I met Joe, and it was really interesting to see how even after the financial markets collapsed, the project was moving. There were closings happening, so they hired me. And then we reverted into a rental community.
Yeah.
And so back when I was dating Joe, he would visit me at the sales center, and we were packed. We had billboards covering the buildings with a phone number. So one day I had like 10 clients waiting for me. I was the only agent on the floor. And our boss at the time, our broker, the wife of the developer of Midtown Miami, Deborah Samuel, one of my mentors and kind of supporters in my life, just saw our interactions together, and she knew about Joe's group fitness background. So she had the clever idea of throwing him into the sales floor, which, by the way, you don't need a license in Florida if you're
oh,
working for a developer. So
oh,
back
that's right.
then, it
Okay.
was very interesting. It just organically happened. So in reality, we owe it to Deborah for, yeah, I mean, additionally, Alex and Joe. Yeah, I just send this. She will see the podcast. And
I
Oh my
used to
gosh.
to visit him and just go to lunch or something, and they would put me to work.
yeah,
Because
So, this is a little ironic here is that you're talking about this time back in 2007. At that time, my brother from another mother, Horatio Ladon, had just moved from Miami to New York. And he was my selling partner at the related companies for Superior Inc. And I later find out after I come back from the cruise that I'm talking to Horatio, or maybe you guys are the ones that shared it, that you sat in when he left, you then sat in his seat.
classic. Yes, like so Deborah Samuel like hired me to take over his seat. So I literally sat in his desk.
I mean, it's such a small world and how everybody in real estate is interconnected. So, um, my gosh. Okay, so that's how you got into real estate. The financial crisis has a way of always bringing people somewhere that's needed. It's really great that um, it was a love of both work and romance, and so that's great. Uh, Over this time, because you haven't always done um, on-site work. So what led you then to go from on-site to resale? Because that's a major jump.
Well, we did residential leasing and commercial leasing in Midtown for a couple of years until the developer Midtown Equities sold the inventory, the remaining inventory to a fund out of Dubai. And then a couple of years later, that fund decided to do a deed in lieu of foreclosure. So we lost 538 listings in one day. And that was really, I guess, make lemons out of lemonade. Uh, we were given an opportunity to remain on site. We just didn't like the financials of what they were offering. So Deborah gave us 20 listings that she had kept for herself and arranged a date with our first residential broker, Mark Silbert, from silver.com. That's the company that ended up launching Brown Harry Stevens here in the South Florida market. And it's been an incredible journey ever since. Like, to be honest, it was liberating at the time not to have to man a floor where we were 50% of the sales force, which created a lot of headaches for us to have quality of life. So we started resales, hired our first assistant, and immediately I feel like it just was exactly what we needed to be able to travel and have fun. We were working at Silbert when we met you. We are at BHS.
That's what I recall. Okay. Now I guess that one could consider that being a transformational loss. You made lemons out of lemonade, and what was a major loss or downturn, you just made to your advantage, and it ended up being much better.
It was the best thing to like be able to address. We were really locked into Midtown, so it was great to be able to do real estate all over South Florida. So I felt liberated and empowered.
Wow, and so you quickly grew your team much larger, and you guys really, I mean, I remember from time to time reaching out and looking at your website because I wanted to see what your listings were. And at the time, you guys were doing some incredible marketing things well before a lot of other people were doing all the video listings, and you're doing it short, concise, really what the consumer was wanting to see. And what was the how did you find the momentum with the marketing and technology? What was that? Was it from your team, or was just you guys innately have that gift of aesthetics?
At the end of the day, it's all clients, generating clients. So it was generating leads. I think we were in the right company at Silbert, where we were trained to focus on lead generation and on marketing. And we started doing our own thing and signing referral partnerships with highrises.com, which was really one of the biggest reasons for our success. Was we had the exclusivity for highrises.com in South Florida, and that helped boost our team. It helped us recruit agents because we had all these hundreds of leads to assign to other agents, so we had no choice but to grow. Yes, it's always
Wow.
been organically the agents in the team like needing quality of life for themselves and telling us we need more agents. So it's been a good journey.
So how has that changed from then until now? Or do you still have that relationship, or
No, well, we're starting a new one with the same founder of highrises.com. We're about to launch we launched duplexes.com a couple months ago, and now we're launching skyrises.com.
wow? And so this is all lead generation. It's basically based upon
Technology. It's all like, SEO and Google pay-per-click campaigns, and just growing a network of like-minded agents nationwide that specialize in high-rise condos.
got it. So over the years, what has been a particular win that you're most proud of, and why?
A win um, for us, a win has been expanding into all the markets that we love to sell. Like, for me personally, it was selling our first penthouse on the ocean in Sunny Isles. I think we did. That's how, like, when we met you on that cruise, was our reward for selling penthouse in a Jade Ocean for 6.5 million, and from there it's been deal after deal. I love all of the deals. I just think that when they're editorial, when they're done to the nines, when you feel beautiful in a space, I always remember how I feel in the actual physical environment. So there's certain deals that bring joy to my heart, and it's really always about the quality of the interiors, the architecture, the view, like the water in the backdrop really hits the spot.
So, do you guys do anything outside of real estate? Any particular passions or sports?
Well, we're very involved in the community.
Okay. How so?
Well, we both sit on the board of the CDD, which is the community development within our midtown, and I'm also on the board of the building.
Okay.
So within our community, we're very, very active. For all for the better. Like we built a park. With the Christmas lights.
We joined the CDD for one reason, and that was way that back in what year was that? I think 2015.
Yeah.
Part of Midtown Miami was sold to Walmart. So it was really debilitating and frustrating and depressing to see how the community that we had built, beautifully, where we had Paris Boot Camp open here, which means we were headed into more of a Manhattan direction with
Yeah.
and suddenly it was Walmart opening up shop.
Yeah.
Here where we already had a Target. So Joe ran for the CDD, and then I joined the CDD, and we were able to kill Walmart. So that's now been sold, and it's going to be a beautiful high-end mixed-use residences.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
it was born out of depression. Like basically,
Yeah.
we made lemonade with lemons.
But in addition to our community, we love to travel.
Yeah.
We've been like,
Excessively.
yeah, no. We love to go back to some of the same places, but we love to explore new places. So we love that. We love, fitness. We love just, morning walks or runs on the beach, and, just, like really enjoying the outdoors of South Florida.
So I'm curious, how are you guys wired? Do you like is your day regimented into a specific routine, or do you have things that you do that you have to do each day? You just don't have a specific timing.
I think we're more regimented, even if we don't think about it. That's the way it is. It's, we kind of get up the same time. We have our mornings routine. We have our afternoon routine. With work, even on the weekends, I think everything's kind of just flows for us as a 7-day week. We don't really, because of in our business, sometimes we have open houses on the weekend. So weekends could be just as busy as weekdays sometimes. But, we always find the mix.
I'm more methodical with the routine than Joe. Like I need to do certain things every morning.
Yeah.
I have to make my coffee and put my 10 mushroom blend on it. It's like take my affirmations, my incantations, my visualization exercise, and then I feel ready for the day. And the crazier the calendar, the more things I do. Like I may need to sniff a little lavender, play sound bowls, whatever I need to do to bring myself into peak mental state is what I do. Some days it takes longer than others.
Got it. Okay, well, one thing I like to do on our podcast is play the gratitude game. But we like to do it with a little twist, right? Since this is the Agent Brew, we like to add a little bit of coffee insinuation in there. So instead of rose, rose, thorn, bud, we do the aroma, the brew, the grounds, the fresh beans. So to start off with the aroma, think of when you're making your coffee in the morning, when it's freshly brewing, you just have that aroma and you wake up to it. It's quite invigorating for some. What's energizing you guys right now, or what excites you to get you up in the morning out of bed?
I'm going to say that we're in a very privileged market that is inspiring. And like take last night, we went to an event for the standard residences in Brico. Like the amount of residences keeps us inspired inspired. I mean, we have Mandarin Oriental, we have so many incredibly inspiring brands that are really easy to sell. We have right in front of us. Is going to be the first branded residential development by super chef, Jan George, and
Oh, I've
that's
heard about this.
like incredible. It's like just to know that when I wake up in the morning, I don't need to make my Nespresso. I can just bop into an AB station. And that's incredibly exciting to me.
Great. And you, Joe?
I think that's by basically the same, but basically we're very excited about the building the team, always about, where the team is going, like bring new talent on. And we're also, just watching the city boom with so much opportunity is really like kind of the aroma, I would think.
So then we move on to the brew that, actually enjoying that cup of coffee. Uh, is there something that brings you a deeper joy or satisfaction? Basically, what is your why?
Those are our why
Yeah.
is to live a life on our own terms, to feel free, to be able to do the things we want to do at our timeline, to travel, to see the world, to connect with our family, to do things for our family. So it's really all interconnected. I think that the community, the real estate, it's all a loop that keeps us glued into our reality.
Yeah, I also believe like the why is, do what you like and like what you do. You can't be good at something if you really don't like it. And we run into so many agents that sometimes you say, why are they in this business? So I think that's the whole thing is, like we really do enjoy, ultimately we enjoy the work of what we do.
Well, you can't be around as long as you guys have if you don't enjoy it and if people don't enjoy working with you, right? So it goes both ways. With that being said, uh, there's the grounds, there's that, thorn that literally, what are some of the frustrations or obstacles that you're currently facing and trying to get through?
True. I think it's really like macroeconomic applied to our day to day. It's watching inflation, the 10-year treasury,
Interest rates.
how it impacts interest rates. That's really, I know that the second rates drop to 5.99. South Florida will explode. The real estate market will explode. We don't need rates below. They'll never get back to the threes or low fours, but you give Miami 5.99, and we're not that far away from that. And you're gonna see Miami grow to the next level.
Yeah.
Great. So the last one is the fresh beans. So it's that bud. What are you most excited about? What is there a project that you're about to do or a listing?
Growth, we rebuilding the team and hiring agents. So I think it's really just expanding again. The team now that we have new lead sources coming online,
Yeah.
it's exciting because I feel like it's happening at the right moment for me personally as a human being. And also it's the right time in the market for um, for for opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
Great. Joe, anything specific with you as well?
Well, we're always the opportunity, the growth, we have a lot of clients that will come back, repeat clients. That's the best, I think the gift that keeps giving. But we love working with the clients and when they come back to us to either whether on a sell to upgrade or downgrade, whatever it is. I think that's amazing when they trust us enough to come back to us. We have a lot of that going on right now. We have a lot of new projects going on. So we're working on a lot of things right now.
We're working, but really, Joe gets excited about all things. You know what's incredibly exciting for watch is when he'll do a showing and he knows there's an offer coming.
Yeah.
He lights up like a Christmas tree. So that for me, like that's the ultimate being is to not lose that excitement
Yeah.
for every single opportunity that's in front of us.
Oh, that's great. Um, I always like to conclude, and it's also my favorite part of the podcast. If you could give your younger agent self a piece of advice, what would it be? So, Alex, we'll start with you.
Hmm. Trust my instincts and buy more real estate. Absolutely.
And
Like,
and buy more real
right
estate. Is that what you
into
said?
buy real estate is when you think about it the first time, not 5 years down the line or 10 years. You always regret. Like I have a couple of opportunities. I've got a way that I always
Yeah, I have to go with that one too. Yeah. I say to basically take risks. I always tell, like, as a young, do it. Just don't even think, sometimes don't even think about it. Just go for it. If whether it succeeds or fails, it's a learning experience.
I love that you say that because my father used to always say the youth is wasted on the young, right? Or the other way around. And I never took enough risks. I was always so guarded and just like, what was I waiting for? Why didn't I just do it? And when I opened my own firm in 2010, like, why did I wait? And so that's really great advice from both of you, and we really appreciate that. And we thank you. I thank you for coming on our season 1 of the Agent Brew. It's been great to have you here, Joe and Alex.
Amazing.
thank you for the opportunity, Eric. It's always great to see you, and I love to follow your career and see you.
And hopefully we see you at Acme, South Florida.
Yes, I will be in Miami again by the end of the year, and we'll all get together.
I love.
Wait, you're gonna move to Miami?
No, hey, he's.
So thanks for coming on. I always like to conclude with a positive quote. And so for this week, it is our attitude towards events, not events themselves, which we can control. Nothing is by its own nature calamitous. Even death is terrible only if we fear it. And that comes to us from Epictetus. So thank you for spending this coffee break with us. Thanks to Alex and Joe of Compass in Miami for being our guests today.
Let me give you my quote. My quote is, "Your past does not equal your future," and that comes from, I coach with Tony Robbins. That is a Tony Robbins quote.
Oh, and I have mine. Mine is, I'm too blessed to be stressed.
I love that. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. And I'd like to remind all of our viewers and listeners out there, it is a great day for real estate. I'm Eric Zollinger. Thanks for joining us. The Agent Brew podcast is brought to you by RealtyCo. RealtyCo is your partner in real estate, bringing you game-changing benefits and services to empower your business. Visit realtyco.com for more information.